hate puppies.
It's a good podcast.
I feel threatened.
Think you can hand me a Guinness?
I like that, Stu. That's a good one. Heck yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems, regardless of how crazy the world really is outside these doors. I hope everyone out there is having a good time. We have officially entered into the holiday season. There is no denying that. I've actually been trying to curtail my drinking, knowing that I know the back half of this month that gets harder. So
Gonna pickle yourself.
Boom. So during the front half of the month, I've really toned it down. In fact, this was my first beer in a while.
I took Monday and Tuesday off.
There you go.
That's
Which is
something.
Yeah. I think I did Tuesday, Wednesday.
Rookies. I took 3 whole days off, which to everybody else is like, am I supposed to be impressed with that?
Yeah.
That is really...
The struggle is real.
The struggle is real. Look at this. We got Ely walking in the room. It's officially the holidays.
There it is.
It is
Christmas
here.
came early.
Happy holiday.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's been a long 3 days, though.
Yes.
I'm just hoping that as I do this, the face will thin out a little before we head into that back half of the month. And this mustache, the beard will grow in around it.
Yeah.
Because I kept the mustache.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were doing
you
that.
do
I saw
keep
that
it.
the other day.
Troy and I decided to keep the mustache and grow the beard in around it.
Okay.
It's
Good
a good
call.
look. It's a good look,
Okay.
which ended up ruining the Christmas cards.
Or
Yeah.
making it awesome.
Well, I just saw them.
Didn't look good.
I ruined one of the photos. The other photo you cannot tell, but
Like
one
if it's back far enough, it doesn't look bad.
yeah, one of them though, I'm clearly
Your face was blurred.
Yeah, that one looks
Looks
good.
great, yeah.
Look perfect.
Where's Daddy?
Like an episode of Cops.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very much so. So unfortunately, one of the
This
photos
is our first
a mess.
episode after the mustache.
Yep.
That's why I brought it up.
Okay.
Yeah. That
I'd
was,
forgotten. It seems like so long ago.
It does. We had our virtual stash bash, which
It's been
was
about 10 days ago.
it's really odd doing a
Yeah.
virtual stash bash, but it was still fun. Still was reeling from the effects of Falcon Smash. That is a strong beer.
Delicious.
But I am glad to be in the holiday season. I got one more week of work, and then I get to take,
That's
I
right.
guess, about a week and a half off.
I'm taking 2 full weeks off.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Christmas is on. Yeah, it's on a Saturday, just like every holiday this year.
Yeah, it's like 2020. Like when you looked at a calendar, you were like, "This is going to be great."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all just went to pot real quick. Unfortunately, what can you do? What can you do?
You going to give out the numbers? You going to tell everybody?
Oh my gosh, yeah! Everyone that was
mean,
out there, I guess we should.
Yeah.
We raised over $500,000.
I mean, we blew
Insane.
last year's
for those
numbers.
charities.
Yeah,
Last
that's
year
awesome.
we raised $368. Being COVID year, we were kind of worried about it. Will we hit $368? Best case scenario, $400. Thanks to you guys, we blew through $400.
Absolutely did. And Mike Jackson, I think that officially makes him the best
president
best
ever.
leader we've ever had.
Until next year.
Which it may be a 2-year stint. I don't know how it works for them.
Oh, he has to come back. Half a
Yeah.
mil, you're running it back.
Right.
That's one of those double or nothing.
And our team,
Our
did-
team.
22.
Go ahead,
change?
Stu.
I was just looking at the leaderboard here. It says 22,502 for the team.
That is awesome.
22,500.
Respect.
And
Well
we
done.
finished 5th out of 17 teams.
And we had 9 granders.
Yeah, that was amazing. And
Yeah.
a grander, someone who raises $1,000. So 9 of those on our team. That's impressive. Not bad.
I'm excited we
guys.
got the team as big as we did. That was,
Yeah.
I think every year there should be a target to keep trying to grow the team.
Exactly.
I think I agree. And next year, look, we'll start now. Join our team next year.
Yeah.
You have 11 months to figure
Do
it
you
out.
guys come across this all the time too? People that are just growing stashes on their own in November.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are we? What?
Yeah. What's
Why
your
aren't
deal?
you using that? Use your superpower for a cause.
Or
That's
more
exactly
importantly,
right.
the guys that join the teams and then grow a mustache and raise $50.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't get these people.
Yeah, chef. Shout out.
Maybe
Got a couple.
Shout out to
it's
the
all
chef.
in the marketing. That's all it is.
Fastest stash in the West, slowest to 20.
We're gonna cut. We're gonna cut some weight next year. That's for sure. I want big numbers, but I want the quality numbers too.
Yeah.
It doesn't. If we have 50 members and they all raise $20, that doesn't do anything. And by raising $20, I mean Brendan donates them $20.
It was pretty sweet.
Brendan was a good quick kick in the pants. He gave me 20. It kicked it off. I finished up with a little over $1,500, $1,600.
Yeah, that was strong. Look, most of the people I kicked the 22 did end up generating a significant amount of money. So I felt like it was a good investment, even with the people who didn't grow. It was all good.
Well, I'm excited for next year already.
KC Joe, shout out.
We didn't.
I'm just going to slowly go down the line.
We didn't win any awards, but we were in contention for a lot of awards.
He got the Rona mid-November.
Oh, well, that's a valid excuse.
Seriously? Ish.
But also something that you could have leaned on for some sympathy bucks.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I got the black
The only
lung
reason
pop.
I'm here is because of this stash, y'all.
Yep.
like if I go out, let me go out on a bang.
Right, exactly.
You know, I would have milked it.
For sure.
I definitely had that like sadistic daydream. Like, if I get this, I'm getting $5,000.
Yeah. So Brendan, you were in the running for best costume as
I was excited
Arthur.
about that.
What's his last name?
Arthur
Shelby. Yeah, from
That was a
Peaky
good one.
Blinders. That was great.
That was good.
We'll have to put that on the Facebook page.
I enjoyed the heck out of that costume. I felt strong.
We were in the running for recruiting and for Rookie of the Year, so we had a good year.
It was good.
All right. I hate giving you credit. Everybody knows that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, true enough.
But I
true enough.
feel like it better have been something amazing to beat the Shelby costume because
Yeah.
that was pretty dope.
Yeah,
It was.
What
dope.
was better?
it was pretty good. Mike Jackson won it.
With what?
He had this like
His typical looking all 70s in a onesie, all laid out.
Oh,
He was, like,
Lord.
laid
You mean
out-
the shit that he borrowed from the last president.
No, this one was a unique. This was like a Shinesty or Tipsy Elves type onesie. He was laying next to a fire, all sexy, his mustache
Okay.
and his wig.
I think Brendan was robbed, and part of it was the way we voted because like we were all here, 5 of us were here on one computer, so like it was vote per computer.
Yeah, I
and,
didn't
like,
really think
Right.
about that. Like we had all the people here, but no one was logged in, so it was just one vote for 5 people. And then everyone I talked to who was like, "Yeah, I voted for you." I was hanging out with like 4 people. I was like, "Damn you people!
Yeah,
Don't you know this is a corona
Right.
pandemic? Go home, be by yourself, and vote."
and Mike Jackson's the president, so everybody knows him. Not everybody knows the other guys, so I think he had a little bit of a.
I ain't mad at it. He looked good,
Yeah.
and,
He did look good.
and I just was glad that I wore it. I felt
Yeah.
good in that
Yeah.
outfit. I
But
actually
Arthur
looked
Shelby
like,
would fuck up 70s guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
there's
For sure.
No doubt. Oh, if it comes down
He's
to
lucky
it,
he wasn't here for the votes.
that's right. Yeah, that's the last thing you win, blind man.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Right.
They did dress like straight pimps back in the
For
day,
sure.
man. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there's something to be said. Like, I love being casual, but when you get dressed up like that,
Oh, it's the
I mean,
best.
it's empowering.
Yeah.
It
for
is.
sure.
I mean, you had a 3-piece striped suit on, a bow tie, a pocket watch,
That's
like
the
a
first
cigar
bow,
in your
it's
hand.
The first bow tie I've ever tied in my life.
Look good.
That was-
it's hard to do.
Took forever. I'm sitting
Yeah.
here watching YouTube videos.
You probably would have won if you actually looked tough. You
That
know what
would've
I mean?
helped.
Yeah.
It's only
See, my props don't go but so far.
I understand.
yeah, there's
Reeling
only,
back in, reeling
Exactly.
back in.
Back to reality.
There's only 3 things you need, and that's the pinstripes, the bow tie, and the hat.
Pocket watch.
And
The pocket watch, yeah,
Yeah,
that was.
you gotta
was
have
the-
that.
And the vest. I mean, you got to have a
Okay.
2-piece suit wouldn't have cut it.
I'm
Which
trying
I
to.
had
Well,
to-
to
I had
be
to-
any of the Shelbys, you have to have some kind of whiskey.
Yes.
Yeah.
and
Which I had
and
my
you did.
whiskey.
I know. I'm just
And a
saying.
cigar.
Like, that's almost more important than the suit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I thought so too. I went in. Fortunately, it was the easiest thing to find in the house was the whiskey.
Yeah.
I was like, a bow tie? Damn it! Where am I going to find a bow? Hey, I have a bow tie. Still had a tag on it from like '87.
Nice.
Nice.
Like Jack and Pot.
Clip on?
No, I had to tie the damn thing. It was horrible. I would have figured out how to clip one on.
And you did a good job with the picture. I mean,
Who took
that
the
was
picture?
legit.
I took the picture. I took about 40 of them. Let me know if you want to see
Oh, really?
39 other Arthur Shelbys.
Send me the good one. I'll post it on the Facebook page.
I'll send it out. I'll send
right.
it out. I don't want to mess with the phone too much. We got a special
No,
guest that
yeah.
we're calling in like 8 minutes.
Nice.
So, but before that, I think we could go ahead and we did a science experiment.
Yes.
I want to go ahead and let people know about the results of the science experiment last week. You know, we wanted to see if the Yeti bucket had any game compared to the Dakine Party bucket, which is just a soft side insert that goes in any old bucket.
Yeah.
And so Troy and I took this very seriously as far as doing the control. We went and we bought 2 lukewarm bottles of champagne, dropped them dead center of each bucket, bought 2 10-pound bags of ice, which I insisted both ride in Troy's car so that there was no advantage to any
From the same
ice.
cooler.
Same cooler, right next to each other, like same brand, same everything. Brought them back over here, opened them up, dumped them at the same time.
Shut
same
the
bottles
lids
of
up.
champagne. I tell you, later that night, I wasn't exactly sure who was going to win because I couldn't look inside the Dakine, but I could see inside the top of the honeycomb Yeti. So I just knew as long as I could see ice in the Yeti, it was either winning or losing.
Yeah.
But if I had ice in there and I opened up the other one, it was gone, then we know who won. So we put them in the buckets. We sat on them for a few hours. By the end of that first night, I could see that there was separation on the walls of the Yeti, but I didn't see what was happening in the Dakine. But I knew there'd still be ice there for the morning.
Yeah.
So I let it ride till the morning. Came out, and at that point, I could tell the Yeti was dying, and it'd been cold all night. Like it was in a cold ass room.
What do you mean dying?
Like the ice was
going.
floating.
Okay, yeah.
So I opened up the Dakine Party bucket because I could see that there was a lot of water in the Yeti. So I opened them both up, and the Dakine looked just like I had dumped it.
Oh, really?
It was insane. Like it was beautiful. I couldn't believe it. So I was like, all right, Yeti, you have a lot of making up to do to get over that hump.
Yeah.
And then we waited I think it was about another like 6 hours.
Yeah.
And I came back out and I checked them. Now, it had gotten to a balmy 60 degrees outside.
Yeah, we're not even testing in like summertime temperatures where you're actually out with the cooler by the lake or something.
Yeah, this should be fairly easy for them. And lo and behold, man, the Yeti was down to a few ice cubes floating
It's almost
in
like it's
water.
just marketing or something.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, the Yeti bucket is not a cooler.
Well, I was going to say, the one thing I will say, they don't market that as a cooler. Now, that doesn't mean people
Very
don't buy it
clearly.
as a cooler.
Of course they do.
Yes.
Of course they do.
But
because
why-
it says Yeti on the side.
I
Yeti's
know,
a
but-
cooler company, damn it. It should be a cooler. Like, come on. And you know I don't want to be mad at Yeti, but killing me
I mean,
here.
everything else they make holds ice for days and days. Their cups, their coolers, like
Right.
that's what they do.
I
Still,
left
I
a
just
cup
don't-
upstairs from last night that had ice in it. I found it this evening. It still had ice in it.
Yeah.
It's just amazing, though. I mean, you actually know that they're not marketing it as a cooler, and you get exactly what you get, which is an orange paint bucket, gray bucket, whatever, and it's double the price.
You drop a $30 insert in it, and and so I officially know.
It's 10 times the price of the bucket.
Well, no, it's
$6 bucket, a $70 bucket.
The bucket's 40.
Yeah, that's not
the
10.
bucket's 40.
That would be 60.
I thought it was $70 for the Yeti bucket.
Well, if you get that top, correct.
The
top
bucket's
is-
40. The top is 30, so it's a $70 setup. The other setup with the Dakine insert, that's about $30 to $40, and the bucket's $5.
It's definitely
Wow.
a better deal. And so
Half price, double ice.
Yep.
That should be their slogan.
Yeah, hell
It's
yeah.
a kind.
half price,
Sold.
double the ice.
Paley for that, cheap bastards.
And so officially when the Yeti bucket gave up the ghost and there was only water floating in there, I then started just checking the Dakine bucket. 14 hours was the difference before it gave
Wow,
up.
I didn't even know that.
14 hours difference
Jeez.
from the time the Yeti ran out of ice to when the Dakine lost its last piece of ice.
That's like, I mean, that's not even the same ballpark.
It's not even. I was like,
Yeah.
if it's an hour, like, all right, conditions might. 14 hours, fuck it, it's over.
Yeah,
It's over
for sure.
You've lost. It is a huge.
That's like getting
difference.
knocked out in the first round. Like, that's not even.
Yeah, it's like Nate Robinson boxing,
Yeah.
which
so-
made it 3 rounds.
Yeah, and
2 rounds. 2 rounds.
you know how I found out Nate Robinson got knocked out is because
Because you felt the seismic shift when he hit the ground.
my girls went and saw Jake Paul down in Raleigh 2 years ago, and they're fans of they follow him, and they're like, "Dad,
How do you go see Jake Paul? What
Yeah, what does he
show
got-
does
what's
he
he
put
do?
on?
dude, it was like going down to the National. It was a place like the National downtown. The guy's got a couple songs. He's got dancers and singers and all this other stuff. And
Oh, that's right. He's a rapper,
Well, yeah,
very
I mean,
loosely,
very-
like air quotes rapper.
That's gross.
but yeah, they're like, "Yeah, Jake Paul won the fight." I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, he knocked out some NBA guy. I was like, "Oh,
The shortest, but the most angry NBA guy ever. I love Nate Robinson. I want
Only
him to-
3-time dunk champ.
That's it.
He's the only one to be 3-time.
Yeah, but you only did it 3
champion.
times. Gross.
Yeah, he should have done it more at 5'6".
Most I took away that from that fight how horrible they both were at fighting.
Oh, they both like
it was.
he
it
looked
was
awful.
ridiculous.
Nate
it was
just
like
kept charging him.
your two
Yeah.
drunk friends is what
yeah,
it looked
yeah,
like.
yeah.
They walked into one."
Yeah, he literally kept just walking right up
Yes,
to him.
exactly.
Like, you're gonna get clipped at some point, dude.
He did have a sweet jacket. The Nate Robinson, though, like the ringside jackets all the guys were wearing,
Yep.
had like the Mike Tyson punch out, and it had like Nate Robinson jumping up and down his little Mac with the big white guy down. I was like, that's kind of awesome.
If only been true.
I respected it, though. I saw that. And then Jake Paul came out to like playing basketball.
Yeah,
I was
that's funny.
I was like, all right, this guy's a jerk. He needs to get not. Ooh, oh, he killed him.
So is boxing over and now it's just entertainment? And how does somebody like? Aren't there all these regulatory committees that have to sign off on it? And they're like, yeah, kill each other.
Yeah, no, it's just an exhibition. So
That's
anybody
an-
can fight.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
you
why
can do
does it
exhibition
being an exhibition versus a fight? Like, it's still two guys punching each other in the head.
It's unsanctioned.
That I know, but still, like the Nevada Athletic Commissioner, somebody has to sign off on it.
Why?
Not if it's an exhibition, only if it's a sanctioned event. This is just 2 schmucks.
But why? So then, how is it legal? Like, how does insurance companies allow for it? Like, somebody could really get
I guess
hurt.
privatized everything.
Yeah.
I would guess.
you signed the death waiver.
Exactly.
I mean, you're
It
not
is
gonna
a
go-
it is a strong statement to the current state of boxing, if you will, that all
Yeah.
of these
Oh, now,
celebrity things
yeah.
are getting way more views than boxing. It's
Well, his
like, this
brother's going to
boxing is
fight
dog shit.
Mayweather. His brother's going to fight Mayweather.
what?
Yeah.
Yes.
can't wait for that dude to get knocked out. By
And he
Mayweather.
thinks he has
I've
a
never
chance.
rooted for Mayweather till now.
Yeah,
Right.
Kill that YouTube door.
He was saying today or yesterday that, like, all it takes is one punch. Like, Mayweather's never been hit. Like, in 50 careers, he's been hit, like, one time.
Yeah, and so now he just has to dance around a lesser
But
boxer.
you, amateur guy that's 0-1, you're gonna go ahead and knock him out.
Okay, so Stu, you want me to make this call? I'm kind of excited. This is someone that you discovered.
Yeah.
Stu was down in Nashville. What, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks
yeah,
ago?
it's
now?
2 weeks ago, and there's tons and tons of people that are great singers. You wouldn't want to do a karaoke there at all because everybody's trying to make it big.
I would.
But I mean, I don't say I think I have a pretty good ear.
You
Pretty
can't
good
even
ear.
say it.
Pretty good ear for music. Yeah, I can't even say it.
Start there.
Don't want to err on the wrong side of things, but seeing a lot of different people, this one lady really stuck out, and wanted to invite her on the podcast and let her tell her story.
I was ecstatic because she's an Irish singer who's making her way in country music, which that makes me happy right out the box.
And she's got a really good story, really unique sound, and I invited her. We saw her twice there. She's really cool, and just thought we'd give her a call. So
And we get to see Stu do an interview. This should
trying
go
to do an
well.
interview.
Let's go, Stu.
This should go well. All right, well, her name's Clare Cunningham. Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm excited. I've checked out some of her stuff. She actually is pretty awesome. Like, she's pretty awesome. She's got a look to her, too.
Yeah.
Talk about that later.
What's her website? Well, Brendan's hitting her up.
ClareCunninghamMusic.com. You can check her out there. She's got
Let's hope this system works.
She's got over 6 million views on
Hi,
YouTube.
it's Claire. I can't.
Well,
Off to the races.
Right to
Solid,
voicemail.
thick accent. I like it.
Have her call in. Just have her call Brendan. Oh, never mind.
I just had to fix it. At least she didn't give her number out. That's
Yeah.
that's
good.
always the main concern.
Hello.
Hello, is this Claire?
You would be correct.
That's
I go by the name C-L-A-R-E.
I love it. I love it. This is Brendan. It is so good to have you on. I've got Stu here. I've got Troy in front of me, and we've got Ely here, which you wouldn't know this, but that's a really special treat.
You're welcome.
Well, hey, I'm all about treats, guys. You have to have a cheat day every in a while.
That's exactly right. Today is officially our all of our cheat day as we inch ever closer to the holidays.
Yeah. Tomorrow
Right,
too.
exactly.
How you doing, Claire? It's Stuart.
I'm so good. How are you guys anyway?
Doing well. We're just hanging out here. I was telling the guys about my little trip to Nashville and meeting you, and Aaron and I had a really good time hanging out and getting to know you. But just wanted to
Well,
see what's going on with you these days.
what is going on? What's not going on? That's the question.
Yeah, it sounds like you've actually had, in the little bit of research I've done, it sounds like you've actually had a fairly, really good 2020. Is that accurate?
To be honest, it's been equally shit as it has been good. But I think my energy has been best served looking at the better part of it, or at least like the bad things that have happened, and some not COVID related, unfortunately, was kind of like just a testimony of like, okay, this is just putting you in this direction, or the scenario has made you aware of this. So like I've never been one to dwell on anything negative. I'm always very much everything serves as it should.
Hold on, you're not.
And some people can't see.
You're not negative, so you're not Irish. Because I'm Irish and I'm very depressed.
Oh my God, dude, yeah. Like when everyone's like, oh, the Irish are great and they're all so positive and friendly, I'm like, yeah, but if you go home, all they talk about is the weather and death. The two things you can't control, and they're so fucking precious because of
Yeah.
the weather shit and people are always dying. So it's like, well, can we focus on something a little positively?
Yeah, if we don't have something to talk about, we go back to 1847. See, only an Irish person would understand that joke. To all you neophytes, that is the heart of the potato famine.
I just love that you're explaining to an actually Irish woman how Irish you are. You wannabe son of a bitch.
Oh,
Well, it's so funny because people are always like, oh my God, are you like really? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a real life leprechaun. Just you make it rain and I'll bring.
Oh, I love it. So you're in Nashville
No,
now.
people-
You're in Nashville now, which is the center of really depressing music for America, right? It's country music that does so well. So I feel like
Yeah.
you're in a perfect spot for being able to pull that inner longing out of an Irish musician and a country musician. So
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
do
It's
you
like music here is real. Like it's Music City though. So, and I've never classified myself as country per se. So like folk Americana is what people kind of, apart from my rock stuff, is what I've been kind of getting lately. And but what's beautiful about Nashville is that people with real raw life come here and they talk about real. No matter where you go, there's always going to be good and bad and pros and cons. But for the majority of people here, a lot of people do talk and speak and sing from the heart, and that's all I ever do. So I feel like I'm amongst those who get it,
I love to hear that. And I've always felt like maybe not necessarily country music, but as you get to like Appalachia, right? The similarities between Irish music and Appalachia, they're extremely close.
Yeah.
In fact, there are times where you'll hear one or the other, and if it wasn't for the brogue of the singer, you wouldn't know which you're listening to.
right? No, 100%. People have actually said that to me before. It's like very Appalachian, like it's, that cultural kind of, that's something that nobody else possesses and nobody else can kind of create. That comes from within, and that's a cultural thing. So you are correct in saying that. And you're not the only one. And it wasn't until I moved to America that more and more people had said that to me. And I looked into it and I was like, yeah, I get it now. Like, it's,
I noticed
it's
that.
interesting spot.
I went over to Ireland. This is a while back, but we were in Liston Varna, and everywhere that we went, because Liston Varna in my mind, that's where the music is. I love Liston Varna.
Oh yeah, there's a song about that. Christy Moore thing. Oh, Liston Varna.
Liston Varna. Yeah, I'm fully aware. Christy Moore is one of my absolute favorite artists of all time.
Oh
so.
no, dude, Christy Moore. Oh, it's like I grew up Moore. Anybody who does not know Christy Moore is just in for a treat.
Well, so that is actually
He
why
is
I
like
went to. That's why I went to Liston Varna, because I was like, well, that's got to be where the
Wow.
music is, and of course,
Wow.
the music was amazing. But the one thing I noticed that blew my mind is in every true Irish place I went where they're playing music, it was all Irish music until they got to Country Roads, and then they played that like it was an old Irish song. What the hell is that?
That's a big staple back home. I think that's why my ears burn when I hear it here, because I'm just like, oh my God, I've just listened to the song. It's like, it's one of Ireland's, like, I want to say staple songs. Like Country Roads here in America is huge, and especially in Nashville, but I don't know, it's just like Ireland latched onto that one too, and it's just, oh God.
Hey,
It's kind of like, it's so overdone. It's a shame, because what a great song, but like, you know, with any good song, when it's overdone, it's, you know.
I get it.
Hey, Clare, it's Stuart. Just out of curiosity, how does a girl from Ireland get into? Because in listening to what you sing and everything that you do, you've done like 1,000 different genres, and you've gone from, you know, you're in Ireland, then you were with a rock band called Thunder Mother, and then you're in Nashville. You've won awards for songwriting and folk. So you kind of, do you have is there something that you're particular a favorite genre of music, or are you just kind of going where it takes you?
This is where I've probably had the biggest, and I don't say issue lightly, but in my musical career, is that the best kind of scenario you know, the definition to put it as is more like I'm a buffet of all styles. And I think that lends itself because I'm so diverse, but I love music as a whole. So I've never classified myself as one thing, which by nature is you know, it's playing devil's advocate really, with trying to get signed or trying to do anything, because you need to be able to label yourself and be able to market yourself in order to sell a product. But I've always been very kind of lenient towards my roots, but also, you know, I have maybe, or at least I've been told, I have what other females don't possess a lot of, and that is that grit and that rock side, and I do love that side. But I think my heart and soul, and now moving forward and having gotten a few of those awards, made me more aware of the fact that, okay, I have this within me, and when I do this style, especially my music stuff, I touch people in a way that, and I've been told, or this is coming from other people, that you possess something that not a lot of people have. You need a gift, and you need to keep doing that. And I don't question that at all. But I don't want to be just known as one thing. And I've used examples such as, you know, Prince, Bowie, even Beatles went through different stages. I don't believe that you have to, as an artist, box yourself to sell yourself. I'd rather not box myself and be me, and give people a variety of things that I truly believe come from the heart, rather than just sell out and sign on the dotted line and be something to market myself as a thing, if that even makes sense. But yeah, no, you're right. And a lot of people who do research and look at me, they're like, what are you? You know, you're everywhere and anywhere. And I'm like, well, it's not on purpose, but it's also not on accident either. I've chosen to just do what feels right and what feels good. And isn't that what music is? Like, you know, you have to define yourself in a sad state, really, I think, in life in general. But I get it. You know, people want to, even when I upload music, you have to put it into a box in order to upload it. So,
yeah, they literally make you check the box, like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is this, so that we can put you into this playlist, or we can put you... And I've always struggled. I've reached out to people. I'm like, so, hey, guys, got a quick question. What is this? It's the first question I have even after I write a song with people. I'm like, so what would you classify this as? And they're like, why are you worried about that? I'm like, because I know I'm going to have to box this at some point. But I think it's just, I'm not a rule breaker, but I'm very into, doing what feels good and what feels right. And if you have a message, why does it matter, And I think as an artist, you can't box artists. Like, we've looked at that down through the centuries, and I'm okay with that. Like, when people say, well, you have to do this in order to do that, and I'm like, hey, there are no rules, and like, people defy them all the time.
Well, and some of the best artists do find a way to kind of cross genres. I mean, I think that's the true talent, to be able to do that. But that's also, to your point, being honest with yourself. Like, I'm into this right now, and I'm feeling this, and this is what I'm going to put out there. Well, that's got to be nice though, because you're in Nashville, where a lot of money can be made. And I know you said you didn't want to sell out, but come on, money's awesome. So there's always going to be a time where you're willing to make some money. You're in a great spot because there's so much writing that occurs in Nashville that you can actually write rock songs, country songs. Hell, you can write pop songs in Nashville and have them get picked up. So you're really in a good spot there, because you don't have to box yourself in if you lean into kind of some of the writing.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I do tend to, when it comes to writing, if I'm not by myself, I am very much involved with people who are older than country usually, or who get like the messages that we need to put across. And especially now in these times, I truly believe in giving people messages that are going to heal, because I know through music is healing and it's scientifically proven. I'm not just here saying this. But I got a message a few years ago that came through, and I always knew it in my gut, but something had come through to say, look, you are here and you're here to heal. And there's been a few, things to detract from that. But I've always known this to be true, and that's why when people say, like, what is it you want to do? And I said, look, here's the thing, and I agree with you with money, but money, like anything, is energy, and energy flows where energy goes, and vice versa. Yep. I've always said, follow your passion, not a paycheck. And money to me is just, it's just an object. It's not something. I would never wake up every morning thinking, oh, I'm doing that because I'm getting paid. No. If success in my mind isn't a bank balance, it's actually, what have I done to make a difference? Like, if I can save one life with a song, or I get numerous people coming up, hey, I can't believe you actually put that into, like, that feels like my life. And I'm like, well, look, hey, I'm here. I need to go through shit in life in order to talk or sing about it, so that I can be a voice for those who might not feel like they have one. Because it's not been handed to me a silver platter. Hopefully, I have gone through the work that a human can do. But I believe I've been put through those scenarios for a very good reason, and that is to be able to come out the other end and be able to actually talk openly about it, be raw about it, and say, hey, like, yeah, there's a lyric in a song, I've been where you are, hopeless and helpless, but, you can, there is a way out, or there is a light, or whatever you want to believe in. I don't mind, but, if I can do it, you certainly can. Trust me,
Yeah, there you go.
So what's it like? What's your typical week like in Nashville? Because I got to see you twice play, and it seems like, I know you're doing it for all the right reasons, but it just seems like it's a true grind. But you seem to enjoy it thoroughly. Is that pretty much the case for just about all the singers we see out there on the live stages?
Yeah, I mean, so I have, well, until COVID hit, I kind of had to lock down here, but I was spending my time between here and Nantucket, where my sister and her husband live, and I write songs for their film production company, Yellow Productions, as part of my visa. And so predominantly, songwriting is what I do, and I write for many different scenarios, but as a performing artist, like anywhere, like here, yes, Nashville, it's definitely, it's cutthroat, but people are just so inviting. And, I always looked at LA and I was like, yeah, that's definitely more my scene, more my kind of style. But something drew me to here, and I knew I was drawn here for a reason. And I would split my time between here and Nantucket for sure, because there's just something so special. I'm sure Stuart, from having visited it, knows, like, there's just such a camaraderie here, and people on the same level wanting the same. There's a good energy. So, despite any pandemic that's going on, because you can choose to let something stop you, or like when people are like, I don't understand, there's a pandemic and you're even busier. I'm like, yeah, because nothing will stop me doing what I do. Like, nothing.
And there's
no president, no pandemic.
Yeah, and there's inspiration in the pandemic. Honestly, it makes people look at things differently. And I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed that you managed to come to America and you summer in Nashville, or you summer in Nantucket and you winter in Nashville. I mean, come on. That is like, you couldn't ask for a better place to land between those two places.
I know.
You're doing it right.
No, I know.
I think most people would aspire to do what you have done, to say the least. I actually saw you did and I don't know the name of it, but it was in Nantucket. It was a festival, and you did an Irish song, had a Gaelic name to it, and I don't want to butcher it by even attempting, but
it's Aaron and Mo Cree, right?
Oh my God, good for you. Yes.
Look at you, still. Well done. That song is hauntingly beautiful. That is fantastic.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, that came from a source. I wrote that, I penned that myself about 3 years ago. I was actually in my sister's spare room in her house in Nantucket, and it was for the Nantucket Project, which is exactly what you're talking about. The Nantucket Project is a non-profit organization that they run twice a year on Nantucket, and a lot of great names and big names come every year to speak about issues such as racism, and the main theme for the last 2 years has been neighborhood. And I got to meet George Bush, Lance Armstrong. Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers was playing that year, so we were up on the stage with him. I mean, all these people with such influence and such stories. And Amanda Knox was a girl who, so I since was listening to Joe Rogan's interview with Jason Flom. And if nobody knows who Jason Flom is, they have the Innocence Project. And amazing. Like, and so Amanda Knox is one of the convicted murderers that he had saved, and so many like her. So she spoke at that project that year. But that song came into fruition because I knew I needed a song that was going to stand, the test of time, show a bit of my culture, but also touch people maybe. But I wrote it in 10 minutes, dude. I was sitting in that bedroom and it just came out of nowhere. And Ireland gave me everything I guess I needed. It was too small for what I wanted, and I knew that from a very young age. I knew I always was going to leave. But there's something so beautiful that came from there, and I'm never going to forget where I come from. Like, I've many songs on more that you're going to hear next year that state that. I'm not here to say, oh, I left it and shit. It's a beautiful place. It gave me everything I needed, and it's in that song. You gave me everything I need.
Yeah, and there's so many of us over here who just long for Ireland and don't actually know anything about it. We just, we look at it through very rose-colored glasses, to say the least, and it's a beautiful place.
You guys do, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like, it warms my heart. Like, I know I hear, oh my God, I'm Irish, and I visited this town 10 years ago, and I'm like, great. But, there is something so beautiful about being here, and when people are so passionate about a place, even they haven't even visited it, I'm like, that's incredible. Like, that's special.
Yeah, we've been blessed to be Irish. I say we. I was born in Chicago, so I'm not exactly Irish, but As my father said, he's like, well, you've got the curse, so I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it in my
You drink
soul.
it all.
I know you have a gig you're getting to shortly, but I have something I want to ask. Do you have a couple more minutes?
Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah, go ahead.
So, obviously, Fairy Tale in New York is a
Oh, yeah.
very, very popular song from
Staple.
Shane McGowan and the Pogues, and
Boom.
it's a Christmas staple around this house. My kids don't quite understand what that is that they're hearing, but they recognize it from when they were infants. My daughter says, "Oh, nothing puts me to sleep like that song you play." And I'm like,
my.
and
Wow.
it's heartbreaking because I know what it's about, and she hasn't quite pieced it all together. But this seems to be the year that artists have decided to finally start covering Fairy Tale of New York, and they are butchering the
Yeah.
hell out of that second verse because clearly there's some language in there that these days it's just not PC anymore. So people tend to avoid that one particular line. And I heard one yesterday by Bon Jovi. Have you happened to hear Bon Jovi's version of Fairy Tale in New York?
I am dying to hear that. That's intriguing.
You have got to check this out. He took that entire second verse and butchered the shit out of it. Most people I hear that do it, they just change one or two words and kind of move on. He completely redid it, and it was so blasphemous that I was far more offended by what he did than the actual lyrics.
My God, that's hilarious.
And I just wanted to know if, like, you know, if you've heard other people covering it, how they're doing it, how you feel about that.
Actually, honestly, I have not. That song to me is just, it's wild to me that you even know it because I have often said it to people here, and I played it for one of my he's fantastic. He's known as Christmas Corey Barker. I write with him all the time, and I even showed it to him, and he loves all that kind of thing, and this is amazing. But how have you guys not heard this?
I'm shocked when people
I haven't heard this. I know.
I need
It's
you
like,
to do
yeah,
me a
when I
favor
turned
and
around-
check it out. I need you to check out Bon Jovi's version.
Oh.
It is so heartbreaking, but
It's what I'm gonna do.
any song that starts with "It was Christmas Eve, babe," in the drunk tank. I mean, for that to be the opening line, I'm like, well,
I know.
I'm all in.
Know. Yeah. No, but it's true. And that's why I always tell people sometimes I'm in rooms and people are like, oh, I don't know if you can say that. I'm like, no, now is the perfect time to talk about this shit.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that's absolutely right. And in that particular context, it's really obviously it's not homophobic. It's clearly a slur, but it's not homophobic. He is she is just she's using that as a derogatory, which I get. That's horribly wrong, but she's just using it in the way they speak. I mean, she's a junkie, he's a drunk. There's a lot going on in that song, and
there is.
You know, she's attacking him in that moment and saying, you know, thank God it's our last. And I've always played it, and I still, you know, when it's playing on the record player, I'm always like, okay, that's a little much that we're playing this on Christmas morning, but damn it, this is what you open your gifts to. This is how it goes. This is the dark side of your heritage. You got both sides, but you gotta hear the way some of these new artists are butchering it. And I've heard some people actually do a really good job with it. And then Bon Jovi, I think, though, is the absolute opposite end of the spectrum. So I'm glad someone with your knowledge of music, I'm able to turn you on to a steaming turd.
I am definitely intrigued, and I will let you know as soon as I've heard it. Because it's not a typical song I've ever heard anybody really cover. You know, it's really, I feel like it was always like Ireland's little secret, you know?
Yeah, well, it got out. I mean, it's like they play it over in England a lot, and then they, you know, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, over here you don't hear it too much. But I'm a big Pogues fan. Are you excited about the Crock of Gold Shane McGowan documentary coming out?
Oh, dude, that's gonna be something.
It is. I saw Shane.
If people want to know, oh my God, he's insane. Like, he's just how that man is alive is beyond me.
Well, only the good die young, so that son of a bitch will live forever.
No,
I had the pleasure of seeing the Pogues a few years ago at the 930 Club in D.C. And I'll tell you, you can't understand. You can't understand a word that guy's saying, but when he starts singing, it's all there.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like, I remember as a child even watching the staple Saturday night or Friday night show was the Late Late Show. And we have a Christmas special, always a Christmas, called The Toy Show. And it was the Late Late Toy Show. Shane McGowan is getting on that stage and he falls literally live on television.
That adds up.
He is off his face. He has no teeth in his mouth. And people are like, how is this? Like, how? And we're like, he's Shane McGowan. He's like, that's what we are.
Yeah, there's certain people that make drinking and drug look cool, and then there's Shane McGowan. And you're like, I should probably temper that.
Oh, my God. It's just like, it's wild. Like, he's a specimen of his own.
And so he's somebody, to go back to your original point of like all different genres. Look, he was a guy who was doing traditional folk Irish music, and they considered it absolute punk at the time. It was punk music, and now you listen to it, and it's like it's so tame compared to the Dropkick Murphys or some of these other punk bands.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Even with anything that when people say country today, they're like, well, what is country by definition? It's not what maybe is coming out today. So when people try to classify styles nowadays, it's like, well, it's a different era. We're in a different, what was classified as, folk back in the day is now something completely different. So
well, country's coming back. Country's coming back to its roots. I think it started with you had Stapleton and kind of some of these guys kind of starting that, Sturgill, and now you've got the Tyler Childress of the world and Coulter Walls. I mean, it's back, but then you still have the pop country, and look, I like it all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, it serves its purpose. When people say that shit, I'm like, look, it might not be your cup of tea, but it's somebody's art and it's selling. So if you don't have something positive to say, close your mouth and just move on.
So Claire, just speaking, you're my cup of tea. I like what you got going on there. So I'm curious, where can our listeners find you? Where can they look you up? I mean, how is the best way for them to get a hold of your music and find you?
I kind of always tell people my website, which I run myself, guys, so don't judge, okay? It has all the links that you could possibly need and all the information. So www. And Clare Cunningham, my full name, so there's no I in my name. So CLARE and then CUNNINGHAM at music. So ClareCunninghammusic.com.
So ClareCunninghammusic.com.
Yeah. And then all my handles, apart from my YouTube, are at Clare C Official. So CLAREC Official.
Oh, you got that official tag. Well done.
I did. Well, I'm still going to do a study on this because I love neurological science and how the brain works. But everybody says Clare Official. The amount of venues and people who have put at Clare Official and don't see the C, there's something that the way the eye scans and the brain takes it in, they miss that C. And I'm like, oh, God, I need to change this. But it's too late now.
No, it's too late now. That's the official. You can't go back, You dropped the I, you added a C. It's like everyone sees it their own way.
I'll thank my parents for that. Why did you have to call me Clare after the County Clare in Ireland and not with an I? Because you know how many Clare Cunninghams. There's a triathlon Clare Cunningham, and because I'm very into sport, and they're always like, oh my God, that must be her. And then there's Clare Cunningham, the super bitch it's like a British sitcom kind of thing called Hollyoaks. So I'm like, all right, I'm competing with two Clare Cunninghams out there, so I'm the one. If you just put music after it or Irish singer, you'll get it.
Well, there's only one Clare Cunningham in our books. That's for sure.
Definitely.
Well, you guys are awesome for even having me. I so appreciate it.
Oh, we're so glad to have you. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're like literally in between gigs, so this really was special that you were able to help us out with this. This is awesome. Stu has been literally ranting and raving about you ever since he came back, so we've all been checking you out, and your stuff is fantastic. So thank you for gracing us with your time.
Oh my God, and you guys are awesome because I've been checking out your stuff and it's cool. So we need to do this again and we'll do a longer session for sure.
I love it. Well, you know what's in between Nantucket and Nashville? Richmond, Virginia. So
There you go.
Exactly. It so is. So, and I do plan to get on the road as soon as, things start opening up a little bit more. I'm going to definitely make use of getting on the road and doing radio tours and doing more of these type of things and different performances because it's important,
I agree. Well, we're going to get your name out there as best we can, and you just keep doing what you're doing because you're kicking ass. Couldn't be more excited for you.
And you guys, and I so appreciate it. So stay safe out there, and let's do this really soon.
Sounds
Again.
good. All right.
All
Well,
right.
we'll talk
Thanks,
to you
Claire.
soon.
Take care, Claire.
Awesome. Take care, guys. Lots of love.
Yes.
Later.
Sláinte.
Sláinte. I got into Sláinte. You see that?
Dude. How happy is this dude right now, dude?
ecstatic.
Cloud
Dude,
9.
I got to talk
Held
to
his own with an Irish woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I said Liston Varna and she went straight to Christy Moore, I was like, oh, my people.
I felt like it was just a challenge for him to show her how much he knew.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I
I haven't even scratched
He
it. I
think-
guarantee I could sit around with her all night and talk.
he thinks he's on her level of Irish.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
That's
definitely not. I'm definitely not.
You don't believe that. You don't believe that.
I
for a
don't.
second.
I don't. But I'm not going to try to put myself out there. No,
We're one and the same, pretty much.
I
Yeah.
dropped a we at one point, and I was like, "Fuck!" That's like when I act like we when the Bears are playing. Like I'm not on the Bears. I'm not
Yeah,
from Ireland.
right.
I got to tone it down. But she is awesome. Like,
Dude,
it was
she's
so-
the real deal. I mean, having the conversations with her when we were out there in Nashville and she was telling us a little bit about her story, she's just from the heart, and check her out, guys.
Yeah, it's
she's
ClareCunninghamMusic.com.
really good.
Yeah, she is fantastic.
There's no I in Claire.
There's not.
Make sure.
Right.
There's not. We need to remember that. So that was cool, Stu. Good work, man.
Nice job,
Hell
Stu.
yeah.
You got us a hell of a guest. Now I'm dying for a beer though. Like I need to. We're at deli time. We should.
Yeah,
just-
how are we going to do this?
Oh,
So I was gonna do them blind, but you know what? I think we're grown ups. We
Yeah.
can decipher between the
Okay.
two.
I was going to say we don't have an extra set of hands here for the blind. We don't have the abacus to lead us down the path.
Yeah, we don't have someone to fail in the background for us. But I'm really excited about this because this is the time of year where the Hardywood gingerbread stouts come out, and in Richmond it's like a cult thing. Everybody goes batty, and now it seems to be the entire state of Virginia
Yeah.
starts to go batty. But this year they had a gingerbread porter to go along with the gingerbread stout, and that
Interesting.
I
Is
had-
this new?
Yeah, I had never seen that before. It was new to me. So I wanted to try the porter next to the stout
See which one you like
and
better.
see which one I actually prefer, because both are going to be dark beers. But
we
they're
know Ely doesn't need a whole one of each.
Exactly.
none of us need a whole one. These things are strong.
Oh, I
so-
need a whole one.
Well,
so-
I
no, I'm
only
just kidding.
I
so
only-
I'm gonna blind taste test them for you two, for Troy and Brendan. You guys, I'll pour the blind taste test.
All right,
and
there's
Ely and I
only
can-
there's only 2 stouts in the house. Boy, those things sold quick this year.
Yeah.
So just
So
keep
make
that
it
in-
less.
Keep
Why
those
the
in.
fuck
home
don't
four
I get the
cups.
blind taste test?
Let Ely in, too.
Didn't know if you preferred those types of beers.
I prefer to fucking taste test.
Then you're in.
Thank you, Stu. Thanks for
Ely's
taking-
attitude, you know. He's like, wait a minute, hold on, can I drop a fuck
Hey,
you?
I hate these beers. Let me in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Stu, are you going to be able to?
How many fucking disgusting beers have I had on this podcast?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden
All
you think
of
I
them.
don't give any fucking interest in having a disgusting beer? What the fuck's going on?
That checks out.
This is not a disgusting beer. These are the gingerbread stouts
yeah.
or gingerbread porters, whichever it may be.
I feel like I'll be able to tell the difference.
I would hope.
Yeah.
Just because one is going to be just.
Stoutier.
That's it. That's the word I was looking for. I wasn't.
Actually, I very well could fuck it up.
Oh, there's no doubt we could fuck this
Yeah.
up. We're the best at that.
Yeah, this is kind of what we do. Kind of our thing.
It's one of the things we do. It happens to the best of us. Now, I don't know if this
What's
is
the difference between a porter and a stout again? for all the
It just
non-beer
comes,
nerds?
It just comes down to the way they're made, and I couldn't tell you exactly what that difference
stouts are
is.
darker.
Stouts tend to be darker, but
Yeah.
porters are plenty dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not exactly a light beer by any stretch, but a stout does tend to be thicker and darker. No, yeah. Now Stu needs a Sharpie. Okay. Well, I guess just mark one of them and make sure you know how to do this.
Yeah.
You've seen the Abacus do this before. The Abacus brought us a deli. I feel bad we're not drinking it, but we'll
do it
save
next week.
Yeah, we'll save it for next week.
So I've already been like, I need to be here more often, getting back on the show and doing it more frequently. But that fucking comment by Stu, now I'm like, fuck this. I need to be here every goddamn week.
You lit a fire
So
under.
does that mean I get to take a week off?
Please do.
Well, the river's shut down, so you're not out of town as much, right?
Right, exactly.
Well, hopefully, a little teaser here. We'll get a little more Ely in our
fucking
life.
names in the goddamn name, motherfucker.
I like that he's fired
I
up.
love it.
He was so quiet when Claire was on. He was nice. He was sitting back in the cut, and he comes back.
Well,
he's
if
like,
you have too many people talking to somebody on
Yeah.
the phone, it can be a clusterfuck.
And it wasn't that good of a connection, so I wasn't trying to get up in the mix.
well, I certainly was not going to shut up.
Well, your
because-
boner was fucking getting in the way too. Jesus.
Look, I can't help it, man. She knows my music, and I may have turned her on to a horrible version of Fairy Tale in New York.
She's my people.
She
Now,
is
looking
my
at these two, I can't tell the difference visually. I was going to try to cheat and see if I could guess.
No,
Would
they
you
both,
like that's
they
a
both
good
poured
thing,
the
right?
same.
So, therefore, I will not be able to tell the difference.
Oh, I mean, just at looks, two's the stout, one's the porter, but we'll see how that.
You're not trying these? You want? I ain't got the Rona. You want some of this?
No, I got the cans.
Oh, okay.
I'm not doing the blind.
So, do
That
we
makes
we want
sense.
to try both of them and then.
Yeah, I'm trying them both. I can tell you, I really enjoyed that first sip of whatever that one was. That's for sure.
There's a number on the cup.
Oh boy, I can't tell the difference. Can you tell the difference?
If you can't tell the difference, there's no fucking way I can tell the difference.
Oh, that's difficult.
I can tell a slight difference between the two,
Yes, I can tell a difference.
but I can't tell which one's which.
Oh, okay, now that I've had a second sip, there's a
Yes.
big difference. I just had to have them both. Now, okay, yeah, there's
One sucks.
So-
Two's better.
I can tell
two's
you that
awesome.
Yeah,
There's
two
a-
is amazing.
Two is good.
one of them has a better back end flavor.
Yeah,
Look at Stu with the funny.
If I had a nickel,
two's
God,
the,
one is.
I'd have one nickel.
well, one is probably your tip, which is funny because the gingerbread stout is a huge hit, but when put next to the porter, which I believe two's the
I
porter.
believe
and one's
two's the
stout,
porter and one's the stout.
Then the porter is phenomenal. If I'm right.
It's almost like they made this to make the
Hold on.
porter be better.
You think two is the porter?
Yeah, and I think one is the stout.
I think two's the stout.
Uh-oh.
No, which one's the thicker, darker one? Porter
think,
or stout? Porter or stout?
Stout.
Yeah. Two is the porter. One is the stout.
That's my belief.
Yes.
One doesn't taste familiar to me. Two does. So I think two is the stout.
Two is the no. One sucks ass.
Yeah.
I keep going back to that.
Like I've always liked the gingerbread stout, and I feel like I like two, and I'm not a big fan of one. So I feel like one is
so
the porter.
so the stout is the normal one.
Yes.
Yeah, stout's the one they make
Oh.
every year.
So I
Yeah.
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This tastes somewhat familiar. Two tastes somewhat familiar. One tastes like a whole different fucking breed. Of,
Yes, I agree with that. But I don't know shit about them. I can tell you two's good.
I think
One-
two is a fantastic.
Two is a
beer.
way better beer.
Yes,
No matter which. No
for
matter.
sure.
Hey, no matter which way we were wrong or right here, two is the
So
better
we
beer.
all
we all
agree.
agree
One's
on
like
that.
some DKML shit with some fucking
yeah.
gingerbread in it.
Yeah. Do we want Stu to tell us, or do
So
we
we're trying
want
to
to
figure out if
judge?
they basically like.
I mean, they're pretty similar. It's just there is a.
Are they?
Just two is like, it's been cut just a little, just cut just enough that I find it more drinkable.
Well, I'll give you the gingerbread stout's 9.2 on the ABV,
Oh yeah, then that's got to be one. What's the other one?
and then
If I remember correctly, it was around 8.
So
I don't think one tastes. I don't think either one tastes more boozy. I just think there's a lot more going on in one, where two
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like smoother.
both the same alcohol content.
Really?
They lied to us. It's the same
Fucks.
beer.
Right.
It doesn't taste like the same beer.
Put all that extra shit in these other cans.
Yeah, they're like, we got some left over from last year. We'll call that porter. It's really mellowed out.
They took gingerbread stout and threw an extra flavor in it and made the porter.
Oh, did you just throw up on yourself?
A little bit, yeah.
You just threw up in his
It's
mouth.
not good.
Ugh.
I'm going to chug one.
Get rid of it. Chase it with 2.
Yeah. There's no chance one's good. One's fucking horrible.
You know what's funny, though, is every year we review these and we like them, but now that you've had it next to a different version.
So that's what I'm saying. The results of this are either going to shit on their gingerbread stout or make it look awesome.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
All right, my vote is 2 is porter, 1 is stout, and I prefer the 2. I think 2 is a little bit lighter, a little bit easier to drink, but it definitely has all of those flavors of the nutmeg and the cinnamon and all those things that makes, and the ginger, clearly. It still has all that ginger. It actually almost has less ginger than 1. So if I had to pick a winner, I'd say I like 2 better.
Everyone knows I concur. 2 is way better.
And I'm going to give 2.
And
Do you have a guess as to which one's which?
You threw me for a loop, dude. That was interesting. I can't imagine thinking one was good ever.
Yeah. Even on its own.
Yeah, so when we've had it before and we've drank it.
I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. That's just my thought process. Like, I enjoyed 2. I didn't enjoy 1. I don't ever remember not enjoying gingerbread.
All right. I'm
So-
going to go with the same thing that Kennedy said. I'm going to say 1 is the stout, 2 is the porter, and 2 is way more delicious.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'd
so-
prefer to drink 2 over 1.
Troy's consensus is 2 also.
Which-
so
which
all,
one do
all
you
of you
like
guys
better?
have
I like
2.
2 better, and
But
I
he
think
thinks
because
opposite.
of that, 2 is the stout, 1 is the porter.
So we all agree, though, that 2 is the better.
2 is the better beer. So whatever 2
Yes.
is, we're giving the deli 2.
Number 2 is the gingerbread stout.
Shut your face. That shit's the bomb.
Well, Andy wrote on it to make sure we're smart.
Yeah. So the gingerbread porter was number 1, and the
I'm
stout is number
shocked.
2.
I'm
Well,
not. My logic worked.
Yes, it does. It does work.
You got tricked by Kennedy.
I did. Well, mine was like, no, I think the stouts are just really thicker and
Yeah.
Well, that
have
was
more going on.
That's precisely why I went with. I was like, it's thicker, so it's got to be the stout.
Yeah.
But okay, gingerbread stout wins again. That's a tasty beer.
It
That
is
is
good.
tasty. Yeah, that's
Yes.
very good.
That gingerbread porter is dog shit.
So literally, frog jump the fucking porter and go right to the fucking
exactly.
stout. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of regret going out and buying double stout or porters today.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Oh,
because there were only 2 left, and I was like, well, I'm take them all.
Good luck with that. These porters have got to be better.
Yeah.
So nobody's taking it. You can drink out of that and see if you can confirm your flavor or pour it in. I just opened them and poured them. So
If anyone wants to,
this is the
retry.
gingerbread porter that Brendan's going to confirm.
Is that the bad one?
Yes.
Ah, that's the good one. Stu fucked it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't put that on.
Abacus squared.
No, just
Stu fucked it up. That's amazing.
you're lying.
I don't know if I am or not.
Here, I can
What?
tell you.
I can tell you because I can taste these. One is dog shit, and there's no way around it.
Did you drink out of this, Stu?
No, I cracked them and just poured them in the cans. Poured them in the cups. Telling you.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. Stu got it right.
Yes, you got it right.
All right, never mind. All right, Stu, my bad.
It's okay.
Now, I don't know, in all honesty, I don't know if the porter is bad, or if it's just bad next to the stout.
No, it's just
I
bad
agree.
next to the
it's
stout.
bad to me.
'Cause
Yeah,
I
well,
had
you're
it,
not going to like it no matter what.
Right.
I had it on its own,
Yeah.
and I was like, ooh, I really like this. But when you put them next to each other, the stout's just a better beer.
Yeah.
Damn, they did it again. The gingerbread stout.
But to the porter's defense, this is new.
It is, and the gingerbread stout got a 100 on Beer Advocate, which
Yeah.
is extremely rare. So it should rise to the top when we do this. So
Yeah.
look at us with our super sophisticated palates.
Yeah, we definitely picked it.
Well, we picked the better beer.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, because
yeah,
we fucked
we
up
all
the
no,
stout porter thing.
That's irrelevant though.
I agree.
Picking which one was which doesn't matter. We all three agreed far and away 2 was better, and that was the stout.
Shocking. That's shocking. Like I really thought the porter was going to be the lighter, easier drinking. The stout
Yeah.
actually cut it in a better way.
Yeah.
It's almost like all those flavors come out more because the porter's not enough backbone to handle
Yeah.
it. Which
The
I'm
stout was smooth.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I am shocked that we got that part.
Science.
Right. Look at us. 2 sciences,
We're
1
inside
episode.
the science house.
It's what we are. It's what we do.
Yeah, that's 2. Another 2.
I'm going to call Claire and see what she thinks.
She's going to be calling us back.
Yeah, she's gonna listen to your song, Bon Jovi, and then we'll get her.
She's going to be devastated. She's going to be devastated. I'm telling you, they butcher the hell out of this entire second
Or she
verse.
hung up and she's like, no chance of listening to that shit.
She's like, "Ooh, that was the
Bon
worst."
Jovi's written some great songs, but I mean, like, It's My Life is just it's a really bad song.
Yeah, Bon Jovi kind of fell off.
Yeah.
Like, the more he cared about his hair, the less he cared about his music. Ely, did you have a point right there? I just heard
Yeah,
something.
it was an exclamation point.
Okay.
He was agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I see that now. I realized I just burnt through like half my topics talking to Claire.
Oh,
I just looked down at the list. I'm like, zoinks! I've burnt through a bunch of stuff. I do have a follow-up for you, Ely.
Yeah.
Something that I know you actually cared about. I'm kind of glad you're
Okay.
here. You remember we were talking about the treasure that was buried out in the woods, the Forrest Fenn? He's the guy who buried the treasure and left a poem.
Yeah.
and somebody found it, right?
And somebody found it, and everybody
Yes.
was coming back saying, this is not real. The person didn't drop their name. Like,
Oh, yeah.
screw this.
Yep.
Kid's a young guy.
The guy finally came out.
Uh-oh.
He finally admitted what he did.
Really?
Like how he did it. And this dude's had like...
Hold on. Sorry. Am I mixing this up? When we talked about it last, no one had found it, right?
No,
someone had
Oh,
said
someone
they-
had found
they
it, okay.
found it, but nobody knew like who he was.
If it was
or-
legit.
yeah,
Right.
if it was real.
Because it was a short, like, poem the guy put out. Like, it was very not specific, right?
It wasn't totally specific, but it was. The guy had written
There was
a
some
bunch
one-eyed Willie shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Precisely.
It was.
Right.
precisely.
Like
the
you
guy,
got to line up the cube with the sun at the perfect
Yeah.
time through the hole in the mountain.
When you watch that as an adult, too, you're like, too much shit happens to help them through it all.
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense. Like,
right.
he's just standing in the right spot to hold the little thing up and, like, line the mountain up. It's like,
Right.
we're on the right way. It's like,
Exactly.
if you were 5 feet to the left, does it work?
Right.
Like-
and there's no way the conehead mongoloid is swinging from the ship. That was my big sticking point.
so this guy who
With that crooked eye, there's no way he's landing that.
He couldn't grab the rope.
He's not sticking
Yeah,
the
he's
landing.
He's going to be seeing 3 or 4 ropes. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I-
I wonder how many takes it was.
I tuned out to look something up, and then I was like, "What are they talking about?" And then it hit me. Oh my God, this is a One Eye Willie reference.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's a sloth reference.
Yeah,
it
sloth.
says, "Oh well, that too." Yeah, how did he?
Yeah.
I don't think he was real.
What?
But One-Eyed Willie has no depth perception, so that's
Check
how I
Wikipedia.
picked up on it.
Yeah, exactly.
This
Yeah,
documentary
but
sucks.
fucking, there's no chance sloth is sticking the landing from that fucking
From the rope.
the pirate rope swing,
Yes, he is.
doing a gainer off of it.
He did.
Yeah.
I saw it. I saw him do it.
Yeah.
I only know what my eyes have seen.
And when the cute chick kisses the younger brother, like, that dude's half the size of
Yeah.
the big brother. Like,
Right.
You know, like, that's freaking Josh Brolin you're hanging on to. Or
Right.
freaking...
mouth.
No, it was Sean Austin, who's a little guy anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and wearing braces. Like, it's a very obvious difference.
And bad at football.
He got in the game.
Yeah.
He was offsides.
He put. That's a Rudy reference.
I
and
love
was
that.
funny.
I love that joke. And I love that movie.
Yeah, Rudy's good.
Great movie.
But this guy who finally came out and admitted like who he was, and I guess Forrest Fenn just passed away. And,
September
Oh really?
yeah, so like
90.
so it's kind of great that this guy found it before he died. So like he knew that because Forrest Fenn
What was
always
the treasure?
So Forrest Fenn was an antique dealer.
Right.
And he took all kinds of old jewels and old like things from like pirate booty.
Like
Yeah.
One Eye Willie shit.
Yeah.
Basically, no, like honestly, like,
$2 million.
I remember seeing him in Goonies.
$2 million worth of gold and precious gems.
so this guy who found it, I love how he went about doing this. So this guy, now for starters, this guy has a sense of humor. Like, he's actually kind of an intelligent dude. He went to Georgetown University, and he was the editor of the Georgetown Heckler, I think it is. Yeah, which is their humor magazine. Like, a lot of these universities have like, humor magazines. So he was the editor of the Georgetown Heckler. He ended up graduating from that. He wrote for The Onion. So, like, this guy was...
that's not a real site?
No.
I get all my real news from there.
Now, he ended up getting popped for writing something that Onion readers deemed insensitive. So he
my God.
So he got booted.
So he's our people.
Yeah, he's 100%. Like, this guy is like the guy you want to have found this.
Yeah.
So he was at the Onion. He was at the Georgetown Heckler. I guess he made a joke about something. He got in trouble. Then he freelanced for BuzzFeed.
Wow.
Started making all those stupid things that you... And then, after he lost that, he ended up enrolling into medical school only because he didn't know what he was going to do with his life.
So this is the old guy you're talking about?
No, this is the guy who found
okay.
it. So he ended up enrolling in medical school to pay the bills.
It's like the old guy worked at BuzzFeed in his 80s?
Dude,
He's on top of it.
dude's got a sharp wit.
Yeah. He was in with the young crowd.
In 2000, he's writing for the Georgetown Heckler. Like,
Right.
but so he found out about this and then was like, I don't have a way to pay off all these debts. I don't really want to be a doctor, but he was smart enough to do it. But he saw it as his only way out. Then when he found out about Forrest Fenn's treasure, he started chasing it, right? He was like, I got to figure this out. So he went on a bunch of forums and started listening to like what they were like, picking up clues from all the people. And then he realized,
Let everyone else do the research.
well, then he figured out these are all the nerds who can't find it. So like, I got to tune all of this out. So he's like, I've got basics that I picked up from them, and then I'm going to go. And he went back and he just started reading the poem over and over. And then what he did is he went back and looked at all of Forrest Fenn's interviews, read all the things that he'd done over time, and he was looking for
This is like Ready Player One. Legitimately.
So he went back and he said that he found little things that maybe didn't add up or weren't the same as what he'd said before. And those are the only things he clued in on in all the interviews and read through them. And he slowly pieced it together. And he said that he was, without a doubt, down to this corner of Wyoming. Like, this is the area.
Yeah.
I just don't know where it is. And apparently there's
a corner of Wyoming.
Yeah, good luck.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
Find it in no time.
But he had narrowed it to that. And then there was something about like burning or gleaming, something to this effect. And apparently the thing that had been left there that Forrest Fenn was talking about had been destroyed.
Oh, shit.
And so he was never able to figure it out. And then it occurred to him like, wait a minute, maybe, time changes things.
Yeah.
So he kept going back to the spot and never gave up. And he said he had to hide it from his wife. He had to hide it from his friends because he didn't want them to think he was crazy. So he only did this stuff.
How do you hide something like that from your wife?
Right.
Hey, honey, I'm gonna be gone for a couple
Have
weeks.
you ever heard of One-Eyed Willie, hon?
No. He would go do the journeys like they knew.
He'd go like,
but like at
camping.
night.
He'd go camping.
But
or
at
whatever.
night when he put
Imagine
in 3
if your
hours.
spouse was like, I'm going on a scavenger hunt like the Goonies. Trust me, there's treasure.
Yeah.
Well,
Hun,
I support you.
There's treasure.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've seen Goonies. Come on. Get with the
There's
times.
treasure. Imagine someone telling you there was treasure.
It's just a 3-hour tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got to go away for a minute. Guys weekend.
Yeah.
Guys weekend. And he's literally going out on his own.
What's
Yeah.
your plan to pay the rent? Treasure.
Yeah. Because what kind of crazy ass solution is that?
Right.
She's like, you're in medical school. You're going to be a doctor.
Yeah.
We have a plan, you dip.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, no, I got a better plan. So he said he kind of hit it because he didn't want to have like, all the lines and the pictures and all this
Yeah.
stuff like in his basement. So he's like, people would go to bed, then I would do it. He's like, I wouldn't talk about it with my friends. I didn't want them to think I was crazy.
You
He's
one
like,
of
but I
these
never
motherfuckers
gave
getting
up.
in on this treasure.
I never let him see my spring-loaded boxing glove in my stomach.
That's right.
That's what I said. Booty trap.
What's worse is why he had to
My
come,
oil
why he
slick
had to
in the
come
back of my
forward.
shoes.
Right, yeah.
Why he had to what,
Figuring
Stu?
those out was crazy, but I got it. Nailed him.
So what's worse is why he had to come forward because he found the treasure. It's been almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And a Karen of the world.
Yeah, said that she had the rights to New Mexico or
Jeez.
something. How's
She
this
had
go?
no. It was she filed a lawsuit against Finn and the unnamed finder of the treasure.
Really? Of course
saying-
she did.
saying that someone had hacked her phone.
That doesn't sound like Karen. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
That sounds exactly
Right.
like Karen.
Karen and Ken.
She filed a lawsuit in district court in Santa Fe in New Mexico saying that someone had hacked her phone because she had proprietary information of where the treasure was, even though she hadn't found it, and that whoever had found it was with Fenn, and so she tried to sue Fenn, and he didn't
That's
want.
a solid argument.
He was getting death threats and all this other stuff. So
my phone
kid had
has
to come
access
forward.
to a bank account that's full of money. I just haven't gotten there yet, so you owe it to me.
The fatal flaw of her entire lawsuit, though, she had to put down where it was. She was like, New Mexico.
Right.
Nailed
Wrong.
it. Yeah.
Wyoming.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You didn't let me finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
/ Wyoming.
Why? Yeah. That's what they call it out there.
Yes.
I'm native to this land, and that's what we know it as.
This crazy lady said she was going to sue everyone, so I came out
Yeah.
in public. That makes sense.
He had to do it.
No, he didn't.
So anyway, how do you end up
I guess
finding
you're right.
the damn
How do you
guy?
sue somebody who's
Right.
anonymous?
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That mysterious person that no one knows who they are on the planet, I'm suing
How did he
them.
find it?
So he just said he went out and he kept going back to the spot.
It was a
'cause
burning bush he talked
was,
to?
He was 100% that it was this area in Wyoming, and he said he kept going back for 2 years. He
But
knew,
like you
he
said,
knew where
like
it was.
whatever he left was gone, because if you've ever seen anything, like whether it be an old house or barn or even plot of land, like nature takes shit over.
Yeah.
In year, like literally a year or two, like nature will reclaim whatever's there. So like, how do you find without the?
And how certain do you have to be to keep going back to the
Was it
same
buried?
spot in
When did Willie
Wyoming?
hide this shit?
10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago?
Yeah, something like that, if I remember
I think
correctly.
it was longer than that. Well, Stu, you have the info
Yeah,
there. You
I'm
would
just-
probably know. But how certain do you have to be in this little spot in Wyoming that you found
Yeah.
to go, okay, nature must have taken its course. I will keep going back because that part's wrong. Not
Yeah.
me.
Was this shit buried?
Well, it says
it doesn't
was,
say.
It doesn't
how
say it was buried, but the guy who found it said that the location where the chest was is not dangerous in the conventional sense of the word, but it's very quickly can be if you don't take precautions to go into the wilderness. At the same time, he didn't want to divulge the location because he doesn't want to become a
You can
tourist
die
attraction.
in a couple acres in your backyard if you don't know what
Right.
the fuck you're doing. Like,
Exactly.
much less go into the fucking wilderness and
Yeah.
get turned around.
You can drown in a bucket.
Yeah.
I almost
Yeah,
died
you
on the
tried. I was
toilet.
gonna say,
Yeah.
you tried.
Yeah.
Blacked out.
Almost died Elvis style.
Not even that was a half bath.
Right.
Like, you weren't
Yeah.
you weren't even gonna fall in a bathtub full
He
of
didn't
water.
need extra square
Yeah.
footage.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I
Bro,
can do this.
I can die in the smallest of
This
spaces.
15
Right.
square foot. I could kill myself
Exactly. Yeah. Sure,
No,
I
but-
can fold up
here.
on
So
the
he
floor.
came out.
He finally had to come forward.
Do we ever find out what the treasure was? What the value was? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
so
$2
million
million.
dollars.
His biggest part right now is trying to figure out if it's worth more to sell it as the Forrest Fenn,
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a good
treasure,
question.
Right.
or if he's
Yeah.
better to take each bullion and sell it
Yeah.
as little pieces of the Forrest Fenn
Well,
treasure.
he's already taken some of the bullion to pay off his medical student loans.
oh, so
He's
it's
gotta
already
get
he
to
already
Doug-
broke up the set.
He's got to get to Doug the Head.
Yes.
He's got to get to Pawn Stars because they would definitely take care of him.
I'll give you $25. I got to make a cut on this, man.
Let me call my expert in
I
here.
gotta, yeah,
Yeah, this is a knockoff.
I got to make some margin. It's gonna just sit on the shelf. No one wants treasure chests. these
Nobody wants this gold.
days. They're so out.
I mean, I
Don't
would
mind the cameras.
I would think you're
Exactly.
better off selling it piece by piece. But unless somebody came out and said, I will give you double the value. Because that's about, you're going to get double the value
think
for
he's-
each piece.
I think he's doing it the right way, though. He's only 32. He's going to pay off his medical debt and just maybe sit on it.
Yeah, this dude's made for life now.
What's sitting on? Oh, you mean save it?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Don't just sit on it.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's not going
Right.
to hatch.
Right. Well, you got to keep it warm. I heard.
Yeah, you got to.
Be hilarious if they found out like there was no value in it. It's
Right,
like,
they're all plastic gems from McDonald's.
this is all glass.
Yeah, like Chuck E. Cheese shit.
God, could you
I can get this shit for 42 tickets at Chuck E.
right.
Cheese. What
The
are you talking
ultimate prank by One-Eyed Willie.
about? Gotcha.
Those bicentennial quarters are still worth 25 cents.
That's right.
You open the chest and it's like all the quarters of each state. Like that's
That's better than cash.
Yes.
collect the whole set.
Ohio.
That's an IOU.
Yeah.
That one's a car. Better hold on to that one.
Dumb and Dumber style.
Yeah.
It was a box, and it weighed 22 pounds worth of gems and jewels. The box itself weighed 20 pounds, and the gems consisted of gold nuggets, coins, rubies, diamonds, sapphires, and historical jewelry.
Whoa, that's awesome.
I mean, that's pretty dope.
That is cool.
for sure.
Thank God Forrest Fenn actually did
Make a movie out of
put
that.
something out there. You know?
They should
Yeah.
make a movie out of it.
But I'm glad this guy finally came forward. I hate the circumstances, but it is a little interesting that he refuses to say where it was, because as he puts it, he's like, I spent so much time there that I started to feel what Forrest Fenn felt when he saw that spot and decided this is where I need to bury the treasure.
2011.
2011 is when he found
Buried it.
Oh wow, so it really wasn't even that
Here's
long.
what he
Do you know
does.
how many people died looking for it, Stu?
It was a lot. It was a
I think it's like 10.
yeah. So here's
What do
what
you
he
mean died looking for it? Like they were 90 and they picked up this as a hobby?
No,
or
they're
they
like-
they
fell
like
down
what-
a ravine.
Like
while they were there.
rappelling down ravines,
Really?
thinking that's
or like
where
getting
it
turned
is.
around and like running
Like,
out of rations.
Forrest
and shit.
Fenn actually had
Oh.
considered just calling it off because people were dying.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I'm,
What he
I'm
should do is-
picturing this jackass just
5
walking around
people
the
still?
desert with a compass.
Here's what he does.
Stu says 5 people died. Looking.
5 people.
Here's what he does. He takes
Wow.
part of that treasure, buys that land, turns it into a tourist trap,
Oh my
and
god,
continues to make all the money.
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
$100 to come see Forrest Fenn's treasure
Yeah.
spot.
If you can rappel down and not die, you
Exactly.
get $20.
And you basically just
Actually, yeah, that's what he does. He plants new treasure,
Yeah.
and I'm air quoting here because it's just the glass shit.
Right.
Like I'll put little boxes everywhere for everybody to
And
find.
it's $500 for a map.
It's exactly.
this is the kiddie section. They're very easy to find
Yeah.
over here. Ooh, look, escape rooms do very well for themselves.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, they're saying 350,000 people have been quoted as saying they've been searching for the treasure.
Yeah, but that's
4 to 5
internet
people-
searching.
4 to 5 people have died.
If you would have known about that, would you have tried to figure it out?
Not for 1 second.
I
No.
had heard about it before it was found, and
Oh, really?
I'd never
I think you get a
I
couple.
never made an effort.
I think you get
Yeah.
a couple guys together do
It
a
would be
week.
really cool to do that. We should. Can I get another beer? And it's
Yeah.
gone.
Poof, like a fart in the
That's
wind.
right. Out of your
You like
sight.
get out there and you're like, well, this lodge is pretty cool. Let's just hang out
yeah.
here.
Right.
Oh, strippers? What did we come out here for again, man?
Forgot.
I got to work tomorrow. I got to get home.
What's it cost to ride 18 out here? Yeah, let's just do that.
That's right. Yeah. Enough of all this walking through the desert shit.
We got a sweet, and we got 36 holes we can play.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
There's a mini bar.
Right.
It's over.
let's just hang out here.
That a hot tub?
I'm in.
No one told me I was going to need rappelling rope.
I've been defeated.
Yeah.
Let's try again.
Hold on.
another
When we get out there, there's no more provisions. I
Okay.
can't just buy more gear. No, I'm out.
Right.
Stuck.
This is a pretty badass story, though.
It is pretty cool.
That is
I'm-
really
I'm
cool.
glad
I wish
it
more people
finally-
would do it because I would love to figure it out.
I'd like to
No
just
shit.
follow that shit. Like, I wish more people would do it, and I could just follow these idiots who
Yeah.
fucking go out in the fucking middle of nowhere.
Bonus points if you can figure it out on a pirate ship too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And when you lift the chest up, it disconnects and
Man,
sails
people,
automatically drop.
If you go there, there's impaled people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just skulls everywhere.
people are fucking nuts. I'm just reading why he also had to come forward is because Finn, after he said that the treasure was found, the guy came forward saying he found it because Finn's family was getting stalkers and death threats and home invasions and lawsuits and all this other
Oh.
stuff.
Yeah,
Potential
saying it was
kidnapping,
fake.
saying it was fake.
Yeah.
So that's why the guy came.
So he felt like he had to do it. Like Forrest Fenn went out there and got it, said, "Hey guys, it's over, and faked the funk. But he never did. Like Forrest Fenn was an honest to God, like pretty cool dude.
Yeah.
He put millions of dollars worth of crap out in the woods and wrote a book and then a poem and said, "Good luck." I mean,
If
that's
I remember
that's
correctly,
awesome.
you called
He
him.
passed down his kids in Encyclopedia Britannica in the will, though. So
Yeah, they got dick.
they were stoked. It's the gift that keeps on giving, Clark.
Real nice.
To my kids, you get nothing. You
Yeah.
didn't even look for it.
You get an Encyclopedia Britannica set.
The whole set.
Yeah.
Collect the whole set.
Dad, you put the fucking gems in the goddamn desert? Gotta find it, son.
Yeah.
You got
It's about adventure.
Yeah. We're going to look at nursing homes next weekend.
You've been living off my ass for 52 years,
Right,
motherfucker.
yeah.
Get out and do something.
Yeah. If you had any more rubies, bitch, we could. Fucking Ruby would pay for your ass for another week.
Yeah, they sent him to a home for sure.
Yeah.
And not a good one.
No. Yeah.
They're touring. They're like, we have this. I don't give a shit.
Right. Yeah.
What's the death rate? What's the cheapest room you got? You got a janitor's closet over here?
Did I tell you about when I was at the hospital and Atlas was born and we were hanging out in the, they have like Salvation Army has rooms where families can stay and stuff.
Yeah.
We're in the hallway and we hear, help!
Well, this doesn't sound funny at all.
Help! And I'm like standing in the hallway, is like, anybody else hear this? Like this dude is just like, help! Just like that. And I'm like, dude, what is going on
Why
here?
are you
and
laughing?
there's no nurses at the nursing station.
It's just
I'm
you.
like, what is going on? Help! Just like that. And then finally some
Damn.
nurse walks by and I'm like, ma'am, do you hear this dude? And she's like, baby, he does that all the time. Don't even worry about it.
Oh, the boy who cried wolf got
Exactly.
so old.
That's right.
That's sad.
Yeah, if he just had a clicker around his neck, he'd have been fine.
Was it an old guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought when you said
In
when
the
Atlas was born, I
pediatrics
thought you were in
ward?
the pediatrics ward,
that's
labor and delivery.
that's a great point.
Benjamin
I didn't
Buttons.
clarify. No, the room was up on the other floors, apparently in the geriatric wing, and that motherfucker was just hollering the whole time. Oh.
That sucks, man. Let that be a lesson. Don't just go yelling help.
Don't cry wolf.
Yeah, don't cry wolf, because
Yeah.
it will end poorly for
gotta-
you when you actually fall and break your hip.
Exactly. Yeah. Unless you have a life alert.
Dude, I spent.
Well, that-
Oh, go ahead.
No, I didn't have a point. I was going to make a joke about Life Alert. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you're talking about when Atlas was born when Penelope was born. My youngest, I spent my oldest had a bad reaction to an antibiotic, and so she was at Chippenham Hospital on the second floor dealing with an antibiotic reaction, and then Penelope's mom went into labor that same day.
Wow.
And I spent the next 48 hours between 7th floor and 2nd floor
Back and
labor,
forth.
back and forth, back and
That's
forth.
crazy.
Like, just
I hope there was a
running around
Subway
like
on the
crazy.
5th floor, because you're going to be hungry.
There's always a Subway in a hospital.
Isn't there always?
There's
it's
always
like
a Subway in a
it's
hospital.
amazing that Subway allows that to happen, because then you start to associate Subways with like the saddest day of your life.
Yeah, my wife works at a assisted living facility, and I've toured a bunch of them for various reasons, and you hear that kind of stuff all the time when
Right.
you're walking around there.
Right.
Like, people just are miserable there, and you're just like, sorry, dude, can't help you out right now.
Just leave me a shotgun within arm's reach.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And go to the store if that's the decision we got to make.
Because I just had to deal with it with my mom. She had, she was in the hospital for a little bit, had to go to rehab at one of the facilities, and then was
A
out.
shotgun?
And and the people, she called me and she's like, "You got to get me the F out of here."
Right.
She's like,
Oh, was she in a place
Dude.
like that?
yeah. So she
Oh,
had hurt her back. She was recovering, and they
Yeah.
sent her to a rehab facility for what they said would be 14 days. And after like day 3, she's like, "You got to get me out of here."
Dude, my wife's told me
There's
stories.
a guy
like-
down the hall with a slinky. He's always trying to play with me. I got to get out of here.
My wife's told me stories like
There's no stairs.
Right.
What are we gonna do with a slinky?
some of the
It's
old
the worst.
some of the old folks at where she works have been like during this whole COVID thing is like, oh, they took so and so out here, and they're like, that's a lucky one. Like they're like
That's
wishing.
crazy.
They're
Yeah.
wishing. Like
Yeah.
they're like, please. And when we used to go visit her grandfather years ago before he passed away, and we'd be like, all right, see you later. See you next time. He's like, I'll be here. Like he was like, please, somebody
my
take
God.
me, dude.
Did you hear
Like,
about this guy the day before Halloween down in Spotsylvania? There's a hospital down there.
Up.
And, up. Yeah,
Yeah.
Good call. God, geography is so hard. So this guy, I guess his wife was terminally ill, very sick, and he just rolled in with a gun like they'd made a pact. And they were going to transfer her to an assisted living facility.
Yeah.
And this was the last chance that he was really going to get to be alone with his wife. So they
Yeah.
made a pact. She was like, I don't want this anymore. Like, I'm in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
I want out. And he's like, I can't really do anything, because if I do anything, then I get to spend my last couple years
Right.
like in pain and in jail.
With Squirrel Master.
Yeah. So they made a pact, and this guy walked in there with a gun, put a pillow over her head, shot her, and then shot himself. And they both signed a note, like,
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, like we don't want to do this anymore. We don't want to harm anybody, but we love each other and we want to go out together.
She was 78. He was 80.
So
Wow.
Did you already pull it up?
Yeah.
Well done.
Look
that
at
means
that.
That means I must have gotten the state right, not the geography part, like
Yeah.
which direction you travel. But I got the city right.
Yeah, there's
But,
something about that. Other countries do the whole euthanasia thing, and I'm like, I kind of get it. Like, you go in these places, and these people don't want to be around, and it's no way to live, man. It's
It was
no way to
all
live.
over the news calling it a murder suicide and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And I'm like, it's actually like the most romantic thing I've ever heard.
Yeah,
Like
the
this,
Romeo and Juliet, that shit.
yeah, this guy went in and you know, he took his own life
How
to take hers,
honestly,
to help her.
How badass is that dude? Like, to
No
be like,
shit,
I'm
right?
going to do this for her and then end myself. Like,
yeah, like I don't want to live without you, so I
Yeah.
think this is
Yeah.
actually a good option. Like my heart went out to them. I was
Yeah.
like, respect this guy, respect them for coming together.
Yeah.
And they kept reporting it on the news as like shots fired, murder,
Yeah.
suicide, and I'm like,
well,
could
that
we
gets
just,
the clicks, right?
Yeah, but could we just take it back
A
to
love
the,
story doesn't get the clicks.
No.
It should.
It should.
It should, because
It should.
this story, as bloody and gruesome as it is heartwarming in its own weird way. I know
Yeah.
that sounds odd, but I was like, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Way to step up.
Well, we're selfish with our old people. We're like, we don't want you to die. Just sit here, and I'll come visit you every 3 months. And like
If you were the kid, would you tell this is the greatest love story of all time, or would you be upset?
I mean, I
You're
wouldn't be.
upset 'cause
I
you
wouldn't
lost
be.
your
Yeah,
parents.
I mean, I would feel heartbroken because my parents had to do that. Like that, the fact that they had to do that makes me sad.
I think I think everything about it is correct. I think the only other better option that I would, if I was trying to tell that to a kid, is like, take her home, get her out of the facility.
But they
bring her
weren't
home.
going to let her. That was the thing. Like she had
'Cause
to
of-
go to like this hospice care.
Yeah, you can't get out of there.
And
It'd be
so-
better like if they'd done a bunch of pills or something that like. That way, it's not a disaster. Like
Exactly.
Baby,
Yeah.
I'm so
Like
high.
the crime
And
scene
it's
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
team doesn't need to show
yeah.
up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that part sucks. Someone's got to clean it all up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
should have just brought a hatchet.
We're going out chainsaw style. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's kind of odd suicide, though.
yeah.
Uh,
He's hatcheting himself to death every year.
It would be so hard to hatchet
Yeah,
yourself.
it would.
Like, especially in a hospital, because they're going to save you.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
Yeah.
hatchet wounds. Like, they got a shot.
And you're not going to be
Right.
quiet. When you strike yourself with a hatchet, you're going to make a noise.
And I don't think you can. I think it's one of those things where you can't really do. You know,
Yeah.
Maybe
like-
that's why the guy was yelling help all the time, because he had a big plan down the road
Yeah,
where he was going to
exactly.
hatchet himself to death.
Right.
Help,
And they'll never show up.
I'm gonna yell help till they're totally desensitized to it,
guy's
and then we're
genius.
gonna do it,
Yeah,
baby.
Exactly.
I got a plan.
Yeah.
That actually is brilliant.
Yeah.
Next level.
You think it was
Right.
premeditated, bro?
I
He
couldn't
yelled
get
help
the gun,
for 3
but
months.
I got the hatchet.
It's dull, but we'll get there.
I don't need a permit for the hatchet.
Yeah.
a dull hatchet.
Right.
Just a dull hatchet.
You shouldn't have bought that $10 Walmart hatchet. That thing ain't cutting through nothing.
You go first, hon.
The handle snaps. Fuck. I was trying to tell
It's
a
about the
sweet.
flesh wound.
It's a flesh wound. Merely a flesh wound.
Yeah.
That was a sweet story.
I was trying to tell a somewhat sweet story, but it's a horribly gruesome sweet story.
Yes.
That would have been better for the Halloween show.
But
Because
if
it was
you
the
got-
day
if you-
before.
if you-
Damn.
If you know somebody out there that's in one of those facilities, go see them because it's twice as bad now because with the coronavirus.
Well, now you can't go see him.
Yeah,
well,
you can.
go
Yeah,
see them
through
through
the
the window,
glass. Yeah.
and
That helps.
well, I mean, it sucks because they're understaffed. There's nobody there, and they're just the people that are there are just left to.
That was the
lay.
other
If you
thing,
do
this
go through the window, do a solid and do the foamy thing, breath on the window, and do a heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody needs
Show
to
'em
do
you
that on
love.
the window. Yeah.
As long as they get there in the next 10 seconds, they'll know it was out of love.
Yeah. Well, if you're doing it without anyone there, it's just weird. It
Yeah.
should be there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's the creepy
Oh.
guy breathing on the window?
Exactly.
Life hack: make sure you know the person on the other side of the window.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say one? Did you say?
Yeah.
Did you
Ely,
say,
you didn't say I had to have a relative there. You said just go and do it.
I thought
That's
you
just
said
a murder.
thought
That's
you
not
said-
as funny. That's not
No,
as
we're talking
adorable.
about
No,
breath
we're
on the
talking
window.
about-
man.
Oh, that's
Jesus.
just awkward.
Where's this guy's
Where's
hat?
he going? He's talking about murdering randos in
I
the.
still assumed there was a gun or hatchet involved. My bad.
No.
No,
I can
we're
see.
saying.
I can see Ely on the other side of the window. I thought you said room 42, not 24.
Yeah.
Ely's nipples all up on the glass.
Exactly.
Pressed ham up against the
Yeah.
window.
I love you, Grandma.
What are you doing here?
Right.
That's my grandma.
I don't have any kids.
Oh, my bad. She seems to like it.
Exactly.
Why should keep looking? She can look away.
Is this room 212?
Awkward.
It's always best to just let him finish.
Yeah.
If he latches on,
Claire, if you make it this far in the episode, if you could write a song about a guy putting a heart on the window and sticking his nipple there and then finding out it's the wrong room, that's the kind of stuff people love. It's like emotional and then
Sweetheart plan.
What's a twist?
It's got a twist to it. Yeah, it's got a twist.
People love the twist.
apparently. Or the janitor's in there mopping.
Man.
Shit.
Yeah.
He really likes my work.
This guy loves what I do. Respect.
Yeah.
I never get nipples anymore. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, that's I couldn't think of a better note to end on.
Yeah, that's the one.
Nipples on the glass.
Let's thank all of our donators again.
One more time, yeah, for
Yeah.
real. You guys did an
Donors,
awesome.
not donators. Donors.
Mustaches for kids, babe. That's the best place to be.
I mean, you helped
Yeah.
us raise $500,000. That is insane. And 22,000 of that, 22,501.
Yeah, something like that.
Came-
$22,508.
There it is. I tried to jip us out of $7.
I think.
On me. So no, thank you guys so much for doing that. That was an awesome month, and I think we did some good stuff. Hopefully, no one's dropping nipples on the glass there, but we did some good stuff. So thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Actually, in a mustache, the image looks even better.
Oh, in the fog.
In the
Yeah,
fog.
just a mustached guy coming through the fog.
Yeah.
So help me God, this is not what I wanted on the way out.
Don't forget to rate and review. I'm going to give you another pass this week, but next week I will lay back into you.
Yep. If you hadn't had a chance to reach out to us on Facebook, please do so. You can always find us on Instagram and Twitter at ITPH Podcast. And if you need sunglasses, don't forget, head over to nectarsunglasses.com. Drop ITPH in the coupon code. You get 30% off. That's like Black Friday deals every day.
Yeah, my buddy Church hit me up and said, hey, man, can your buddy hook me up with some nectars? We had gone over there last time we were down there, and I said, I'll give you the best deal I got, 30%
There
off.
you go. I did find out that the code doesn't work on Black Friday.
Of course.
Tried to do that. I was like, yeah, I probably owe Sean
double
better than
dip?
that. Yeah, I tried to double dip.
Yeah,
That wasn't cool.
And again, check out ClareCunninghamMusic.com. Check her
Yeah.
out, guys. She got some good stuff.
Clare
No
Cunningham
I.
music without the I. So check her out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace out.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
I do.